Hey guys, how you doing? Let's start with some more in-depth concepts in components in asphalt. Okay, so we saw in last video that we could simply send properties into each component. But how do we send actually what the fuck? How do we send properties and data to higher components in hierarchy, in component hierarchy actually? We are going to use actually a tool called create event dispatcher, and we are going to dispatch some events to higher hierarchy of actually components. But before that, let's change something. We are going to remove all these to send only the item as input. Okay, how do we do this? I've just sent this one and I'm going to delete these two items. Okay, and we are going to access the title and description using just item. Super simple. Okay, that's it. I'm going to delete each single one of these to-do items. I added one other to this actual list, one other item to this list too. Going to actually delete each one of these items that we got them clicked, and using just this one. Okay, let's do this. I've just changed this class name to the danger to make it rape actually, and I'm going to change this to delete 2. So how do we do this? I have no actual access to this to-do from to-dos to this list from this component. That's something obvious. But how do we access this? We are going to send the ID from this component to this component. Super simple. And in this component, when we got the ID, we are going to find that item and remove that here. Okay, super simple. Let's go and make a actually make a function, and in this function we are going to call this delete me. Okay, super simple. I'm going to call this on click and delete me. I'm not going to do that. Okay, I've got this here. I'm going to use a function, or actually a tool called create event dispatcher. I'm going to create a dispatcher from that function. Dispatcher, and that's going to be equal create event dispatcher. So we haven't yet imported it. As we hover the mouse on this red part, it's going to make a suggestion to import it from as well. You don't need to install anything, and it's a default as well function. Okay, we got this here. We are going to, as we click on this red button, we are going to send the ID of this item to the higher hierarchy. Okay, super simple. How do we do this? I'm going to call dispatcher, and I'm going to call the event something. This event is going to be called, I don't know, delete. You can call it anything you want. Delete call. Okay, super simple. Or we can actually make it something more nice. And I'm going to send the whole item, or I can just send the ID. Okay, super simple. How do we receive this here? As soon as we actually one note, how did I send this item just using the name and not like item equals dude? I'm just using actually the asphalt is just using if the name of the property and the name of this variable is the same, it does not need this one. Okay, super simple. Now I'm going to use this to send to receive the ID and do something about it. I'm going to call on, and now I'm going to use this custom event that we created on delete item. As we call this delete item, as I press on this delete button, it's going to call this delete function, and in this delete me function it's going to dispatch an event. It means actually call an event on the higher actually components, and on these higher components I'm going to receive the data that has been sent from this component. Okay, super simple. How do we receive it? I'm going to just build an inline function here, and I'm going to get the event here, get the event object here, and I'm going to just console.log e.detail. Super simple. I've got the detail object, and it's going to be the data that has been sent from this todo. Okay, super simple. Going to check it out here, and let's see. Super simple. We got this item here, we are checking the item ID here, and that's really super just simple. Okay, so how do I now delete this from the list? This is just actually pure JavaScript. Going to call todos.filter, and in this filter we are going to get the item, and we are going to actually remove wherever item dot id is not equal to e.detail. Very simple. That's all. Okay, let's check out whether we have error or not. I have to call the todos equals todo.filter and things like that. Give it a refresh, and things are going as we asked it. Let's refresh it again, so we see that. Super simple, and we are getting them. Okay, we got a bug here. I don't know. I think we got a bug here, and that's the fact that let's debug it. Super simple. I'm going to log console.log e.detail. Okay, going to log the detail. This is how it has to actually work, and we are no, things are actually working. Just messed things up, and things are actually working quite okay, and there is no bug here. I will see you next video actually, with something more on adding and actually building the form, add something to this list. Goodbye till next video.